Good evening, cyber friends. This is the Middleman coming at you again. Park Studio, back in Studio B. We want to give God all the praise, giving all the honor and glory. Thank Him for life, health, and strength. We are hoping that this video will come out to be a little bit better than the last few videos I tried to do. This is not a live feed. This is offline here, as you can probably tell. But nevertheless, I will upload it to YouTube momentarily once I finish it up. And I think I'm going to make certain that this time that it doesn't have that drag in it. If it does, then I'm back to square one, people. I'm back to square one. But nevertheless, I hope that y'all see what this title of my video is on this time, and just go around and say, a fool and his folly. A fool and his folly. I remember a while back, there was a guy that I knew very well. His name was Booker T. Emmons. And I don't know whether Booker's no longer with us or not. I met him when I was living in Atlanta before I went into the military. Booker was a retired, he was a retired airman. He was in the Air Force. He retired out of the Air Force. And he told us he was in the meteorology when he was in the service and everything. So Booker was pretty knowledgeable about that area, and he would talk a lot about and tell me different things. And we all used to be sitting around having our little sips of whatever we had to drink and doing whatever we wanted to do at that time. And we wasn't bothering nobody, and what we were doing, we wasn't hurting nobody but ourselves, so it was our business. And Book used to say, he used to tell me, he said, Ernie, you can be, and I'm gonna scale it down, cause in respect to the Bible study and everything, I'm gonna scale it back a little bit. But Book, you say you can be trying to step over one thing and step into something else. Now I'm gonna let y'all use your imagination for that. And that's exactly what a lot of us do by running our mouths. Sometimes we don't know when we don't know what we're really talking about, especially when you don't know all the facts. Now, what I'm saying is, it tells you plain as day in the book of Proverbs. How come I said people read the Bible, but they ain't studying the Bible? It's a difference. It's a difference. But you see in Proverbs, around the 18th chapter, 18th division, however you call your chapter, it tells you plain today that when a person answers a subject matter without hearing it all the way through, is a fool. You learn, people. You learn by listening, not by talking. You learn by listening, not by talking. Take it from me in a minute, man. As a musician, I learned this a long time ago. As a musician, you learn by listening, not by talking. A simple-minded people, you can't tell anything anyway. You simple-minded. But matter of fact, see, if you are an expert, quote unquote, on a subject, then you can talk. If you are an expert, then you can talk. If you got knowledge in a certain area, everybody don't have the same knowledge now. You might be knowledgeable in baking cakes. If you are knowledgeable in baking cakes, and everybody love your cakes, and you know how, and they be real moist and light and everything, and people, and almost like melting your mouth, then you can tell somebody else. If they let you, you can tell them, and they'll learn and begin to bake cakes almost just like you will. But if they don't listen, they're going to know more than you. They're going to be right back in the same hard cake, no cake at all. It's the same thing going in a discipline. They go for anything in any sort of discipline. You don't learn by talking. You learn by listening. In other words, the person that's in authority that's doing the talking is the one that already know to a degree. Hopefully they are knowing what they are talking about. And if they have shown themselves noteworthy, in other words, now just because a person might be talking, they may not know what they're talking about either. But I'm just saying, if they got a track record, and you go to the doctor, you don't tell the doctor how to treat you. The doctor is examining you, and he gives you medication prescribed as he know and look at your body and see what your body can take. And then you take it. You don't give him no argument. You take it. Why can't we be like that on all things? Just being honest with you. There are some things that we must do. Everybody must have some sort of guideline to go by. And like I said, I was teaching. I've been, teaching in music and discipline, and I had to learn, and some of the things, and I had to go through steps. Everything you have to go through steps. You don't jump up a ladder, you climb it. But like I say, a fool is better to meet a bear. But the book of Proverbs tell you this, y'all. It's better to meet a bear robbed of her cub than to meet a fool in his folly. Now that's going to show you how bad that fool. Don't even entertain a fool in his folly, because you're going to find yourself in a big mess. And then you're going to find yourself out there, you're going to say something that ain't going to even be relevant to the question at hand. And everybody, I heard another person say, it's better to let people think that you are ignorant than for you to open your mouth and prove them right. So in other words, don't prove them right. So in other words, sometimes it's better to be quiet. He said, better to let a person think that you are ignorant than for you to open your mouth and prove them right. So in other words, if middleman is not knowledgeable of a subject, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let the people that got the knowledge, I'm gonna let them say what they got to say, and I'm gonna listen. And then I'm gonna see if it's anything to it. See, that's a wise person. A wise person listens at a matter, and then they deduct it, and then they see if there's anything to it, and then before they move and open their mouth. Say, wisdom is too high for a fool. He don't open his mouth in the gate. See, in other words, now it's going to take some of y'all a little while to figure that out. A wisdom is too high for a fool. He don't open his mouth in the gate. Now, I'll let y'all figure that out. Ask me about it. Email me about it, and I'll tell you what exactly I mean by that. But I'm just saying, you got to first, you cannot teach something that you don't know. You can't instruct a person in an area when you don't know it. Hush your mouth. You don't know, so just hush and then gain knowledge by listening. And then, like I say, everybody you listening to at the media, just because them folks on TV and on Facebook, that don't mean they know what they talking about 9 times out of 10. That don't mean that. But now, if you see a person that has got the credential, when I go to my doctor, I go in his office, I see up on his wall all his credentials. I know he know what he's talking about, because they don't give out them degrees like that to simple-minded folk. They don't give them out like that. You got to study to show yourself approved. Now, I ain't trying to say nothing about my little couple of items I have, but at least I do know one thing. I know what I know. See, in other words, you can get jealous of me all you want, talk about me all you want. I mean, I ain't worried about that mess, not one bit. Because, see, I've had to pay my dues like everybody else. And so that's how come I know when I go to my doctor, I ain't got no problem. I feel good. I don't go there to tell him what to do. He's the doctor, not me. If I'm going to tell him what to do, I need to have on a white lab jacket. And he need to be sitting on the table. See, this how come a lot of us can't get no better, because we won't listen to solid instruction. You must listen if you gonna learn, my brothers and sisters. I'm telling y'all straight up. Different the Bible study on back, wherever. And I don't care what area you at. If you want to learn, you got to listen to the people that know what they are talking about. I ain't talking about just listening to somebody that's running off at the mouth. they're saying stuff they done heard. But you got to talk to people that know, that done been there and done that. In other words, if a man come inside the house dripping mud, water running out of his head, and tell me, many man don't go outside, there's a big mud puddle right in front of your house. And I'm looking at the man dripping in mud and water, and then I'm going to go right on out the door and step in the same mud hole. I'm a fool. Because the man just told me not to go out there. And I'm looking at him dripping wet with mud and water, and I still go and step out the step in that same mud hole. That's just the kind of fool, that's what a fool would do. Please, my brothers and sisters, learn. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. That's the only thing I can say. Don't get caught up in a fool and his folly. And I hope this video is going to be better than the ones I've done. And if not, my brothers and sisters, I might be back to format time again. And God knows I don't want to do that. But in order for my system to run right, I may have to just do just that. Until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this Smitty man saying, whatever you get into. If God ain't in it, my brothers and sisters, get out of it. Because it's going to come to nothing. Until the next time, peace and good night.